They say every empire starts with a risk, but they never talk about how most of them end. My name is Jonathan Miles. I was born in a town nobody visits, raised by a father who was always gone, and a mother who folded her sadness into laundry piles. I had no inheritance, no connections, just ambition that burned so hot I couldn't sleep past dawn. I moved to the city with a cracked phone, 2 shirts, and a promise to myself. By 30, I won't be poor, even if I have to burn everything inside me to get there. I worked. While others were drinking on Fridays, I was teaching myself code in borrowed Wi-Fi. While they went to sleep, I stayed up chasing numbers, clients, contracts, possibilities. I lived off instant noodles, dollar coffee, and the idea that one day I'd never have to budget again. And then, it started to work. 1 client turned into 5. 5 into a portfolio into an agency. By 25, I had my own office. By 26, we were in 3 cities. And at 27, I had 2 condos, a luxury car, a girlfriend with 200,000 followers, and a business valued at just under $9 million. People started calling me brilliant. Journalists asked for interviews. My mother cried when she saw me on the cover of a tech magazine. I didn't cry. I don't think I could anymore. Somewhere in all the noise and late nights, I had turned off that part of me. The part that felt things. It was a Tuesday. Isn't it always? You expect life to fall apart on some dramatic, stormy night. But no. It happens in the middle of the day, when you've just poured coffee and sat down at your desk. The call came at 2:14 p.m. A known number. I almost didn't answer. The voice on the other end was slow, rehearsed. Legal. Mr. Miles, we regret to inform you. And in 12 sentences, everything I built started to collapse. A lawsuit. Intellectual property. A former employee I'd once trusted with passwords, source code, systems, everything. He was accusing me of stealing what I had created myself. The irony? I had built the foundation, but I hadn't protected it. I trusted too easily. I delegated too freely. I was too busy being the face to look behind the curtains. I stared at the glass wall of my office, watching the city move below me like nothing was wrong. But inside, I felt the first crack, that subtle shift. Like the ground beneath your feet is no longer stone, it's water. I called my lawyer. I called my co-founder. Both said the same thing, this isn't good. We filed countersuits. Pressed statements. But the damage was already in motion. Clients started pulling out. Our investors grew quiet. One by one, they stopped returning calls. The girlfriend, the one with 200,000 followers, posted a caption that said, "Growth is knowing when to let go." I wasn't tagged. That night, I sat in the office alone. No lights, just the glow of my laptop screen. Watching numbers bleed red. Watching something I loved slowly drown. And the worst part? I still believed I could fix it. People think losing everything is loud. A crash. A bang. An explosion. But the truth? It's a slow drowning. A quiet erosion. One day, you realize your assistant isn't answering emails. The next, your landlord calls and asks when the rent will be paid. Then your lawyer starts using words like settlement and surrender in the same sentence. I stopped checking my bank accounts. I stopped answering unknown numbers. I stopped sleeping in my bed. Instead, I started staying later and later at the office, pretending there was still work to do. Some nights, I just sat by the window and watched the lights go out in other buildings. It was easier to believe I wasn't the only one losing something. When the first eviction notice came, it didn't even surprise me. Just a piece of paper, folded neatly like a resignation letter from life. I moved what little I had left into my car, a silver BMW I had once bought to reward myself. Back then, it had smelled like success. Now it smelled like fear. I told myself it was temporary. A few weeks. A short chapter. Something I could laugh about later. But deep down I knew there would be no laughter. Some stories don't have punchlines. Some stories just stop. Pride is quiet. Until it's screaming inside you. I didn't tell anyone. Not my friends. Not my mother. She still thought I was running a company. Still sent me links to TED Talks with notes like, "This reminds me of you." I couldn't bear to tell her I showered at gas stations and slept with the seat reclined. I couldn't let her know I was brushing my teeth with bottled water in parking lots. I told people I was traveling light, that I was between apartments. I posted old photos from conferences and restaurants, pretending I was still in that world. But every night, I returned to the same parking lot behind a closed-down grocery store. My car was now my office. My kitchen. My coffin with windows. Pride keeps you from asking for help. Pride makes you believe that crawling out of hell should be done silently, nobly, without witnesses. But the truth? Pride doesn't save you. It just keeps you company while you drown. There were moments I stared at my phone for hours, hovering over names I hadn't called in years. But I never pressed dial. I couldn't bear the sound of someone saying, "What happened to you?" Because I didn't know how to answer. I still don't. I always thought hitting rock bottom would sound like glass breaking. A scream. A siren. Something loud. Final. But the truth is, rock bottom is silent. It's the sound of nothing. The hum of your car battery after you've turned off the engine. The soft drip of condensation from a fast food cup you finished yesterday. The quiet ache in your back from sleeping in the same position 4 nights in a row. Rock bottom is watching your gas gauge drop below a quarter and realizing you have $6 left. Rock bottom is choosing between fuel and food and knowing either one is a luxury now. One night, I curled up in the back seat, using a hoodie as a blanket, and for the first time in years, I cried. Not the kind of crying you do for sympathy. The kind you do when your soul has no skin left. When it hurts just to exist. And when I finally stopped, I stared at the ceiling of the car, blinking through tears, and whispered, "Is this it?" Not in anger. Not even fear. Just exhaustion. I didn't get an answer. But the silence? It felt honest. That night, I made a decision. Not a grand one. Just this. To try again. One step. One call. One breath. Recovery isn't cinematic. There's no triumphant music. No applause. Just quiet choices that no one sees. Like waking up early, even when there's nothing to wake up for. Like applying for jobs that feel 1,000 miles below where you once stood. Like saying, "Yes, I need help," and swallowing the shame that comes with it. I parked my car outside a shelter one morning. I sat there for 20 minutes before walking in. A woman at the desk looked me in the eye and didn't flinch. She didn't see failure. She saw hunger. The good kind. The kind that says, "I still want to live." That day, I got a meal. A warm one. And a printed list of people who might be able to help. That was it. No magic. No $1,000,000 comeback. Just a list. I started picking up freelance work again. Design. Writing. It didn't pay much, but it paid. I saved enough to rent a room. Then a laptop. Then a bus pass. I relearned how to live small. How to live slowly. I spoke to my mother for the first time in 8 months. She didn't ask questions. She just said, "It's good to hear your voice." I'll never have what I had at 27. The headlines. The condo. The ego. But I have something else now. Something money couldn't buy. Because when you lose everything, you find out what actually mattered. And most of it was never in your bank account. Thank you for staying with us until the end of this story. Your interest and support inspire us to bring you more captivating tales filled with emotions, twists, and the complexity of life, love, betrayal, and redemption. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment and share your thoughts. We value your voice and want to hear what you feel. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new story, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thank you for bringing this channel to life with your views and encouragement. See you in the next story.